Welcome to Mystic Musings with Tobie Hewitt. I'm Tobie Hewitt, and I'm your guide through time and space and all points in between. Mystic Musings will give you insight into who you are, why you are here, how to live an authentic life, and where you fit into the universe around you. Join me on this path of mystical exploration. Welcome to episode 95 of Mystic Musings with Tobie Hewitt. This week, we will consider unity as we continue our mystic journey. While perusing Facebook this past week, I came upon a discussion about the appearance of "In God We Trust" that began to appear in the mid-1950s on our currency. Before that time, the motto on U.S. currency was "E pluribus unum," out of many, one. There is a reasonable supposition expressed that "In God We Trust" was adopted as religion wheedled its way into politics, betraying the idea of separation of church and state put forth by our founders in the First Amendment, though it appears that the attacks on other aspects of this amendment are on the rise, much to the detriment of the basic tenets of the United States. But perhaps I will put that aside for another episode. I pondered the difference between the two mottos and came to the conclusion that, from the mystical perspective, there isn't an actual difference in the meanings of these two phrases. We are one within a being who is called by many God. The difference is in the roots of the two. One is based in the idea of dogmatic religion, and the other in the spiritual reality that is the basis for the universe, the universe, which means combined into one. "In God We Trust" raises all sorts of difficulties for the general population of the country. The first, of course, is which God we are supposed to be trusting in. The Judeo-Christian God? Allah? Brahman? And what about deists, who are predominantly the folks that created the playbook for the U.S. and believed in reason over religion? What about atheists, monotheists, polytheists, and agnostics? What about the Great Spirit, the overarching name for the all-encompassing God believed in by the indigenous peoples of this land? The problem with instituting this motto is that in this country, the Judeo-Christian God, with emphasis on the Christian one, is considered by those who believe that being to be the God, requires people who do not believe in that God to walk around using currency that professes a belief and places a trust in that one entity. In this, it feels rather exclusionary, which of course it is becoming more and more so with every passing day. E pluribus unum carries no such dogmatic baggage. Out of many, one, does not seek to exclude those who are not believers in God, but rather seeks to include everyone, and contains in its very etymology the understanding that we are indeed one in the universe. That while we have an inherent diversity, we are all part of a oneness that includes and transcends that diversity. We are one. We bring our diverse ideas and thoughts and beliefs and practices to the same table and enjoy in the sharing of the differences and celebrate both these and the commonalities. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience, and in both manifestations, we are one. As spiritual beings, we already know we are part of the oneness that was created by the creative spirit in and through the energy of love. And as physical beings, we are, because of this underlying awareness, drawn to seek each other out and, informed by our spirits, create a oneness in peace and compassion. Unfortunately, the religious motto of "In God We Trust" does not address our oneness, and instead evokes a feeling of, and perhaps the very manifestation of, divisiveness. Since in our capitalist society, the motto on our money can be seen as a rallying cry for the exaltation of currency over compassion, we lose the inclusiveness espoused in the idea of oneness, and, in that, the desire to nurture each other and grow within a society, the foundation of which should be a shared desire for the common good. In my opinion and awareness, changing the motto changed the very character of the country. Instead of encouraging compassion, empathy, and love, it encourages divisiveness, lack of compassion, and greed. With God firmly printed or etched into our money, every transaction could be looked at as a call to God to increase the holder's well-being through wealth, a prayer for physical increase over spiritual oneness. As we can see by the current state of the country and the infectious spread of the avarice of those in our government further across the world, trusting in a separate entity rather than in a nurturing oneness is becoming the challenge that must be overcome if we are to learn these lessons and evolve into a gentle and caring society. If you have questions or thoughts about this episode or any other topic in this podcast, please contact me through tobiehewitt.com and leave a comment on the contact page. I will be pleased to answer your questions or respond to your comments in future episodes. It would be nice if this could become a dialogue between us as we continue our mystic journey. Thanks for listening to this episode of Mystic Musings. Please join me every week to continue our exploration of all things mystical that can help you have a more practical and magical life. Please visit my website, tobiehewitt.com, for more information and to read my blog postings. And join me also at pathwaystomindfulness.org to learn how you can schedule a presentation. I am available for mindfulness training, demonstrations of psychic abilities, and individual readings. I also have a number of books on mystical topics on Amazon.com. I look forward to hearing from you and answering your questions. Please contact me through tobiehewitt.com.